Good afternoon, everyone. Today, we're lucky to have a visitor from across the border to speak to us about her frank views on the proposal to build a border around Moray. This idea came from none other than Boris Johnson as a response to our COVID-19 variant peat bog variety. And I have with me Rowena Rodhunter. Is that correct, Rowena?
Yes, Rowena Rodhunter. Sorry.
Yeah, I gather that the building the walls has caused quite some upset in your household, Rowena.
Yes. Well, Boris's idea to build a wall around our estate at Knock and Craggendale, which is 30,000 hectares and rather large, I just don't think it's a very good idea at all. Because, well, what I mean to say is that we're an employer of several hundred locals, and as such, we have a strong voice in the local economy. And my husband Edward and I are convinced that this is not a very good idea. Now, we look forward to coming up to our sporting estate once a year to rough it, and we're very grateful for the help of all the locals of carrying all the equipment, driving the Range Rover down to the river, carrying the fishing rods, setting up camp, cleaning up all the mess afterwards, and taking us home and cooking for us and making our beds and everything like that. So we're all very grateful. And we think that building a wall around Moray might prevent people from coming into our estate and harm the local economy.
I gather that you're in particular need of a holiday this year because of an unfortunate accident that befell your husband, Edward. Maybe you'd like to tell us a little bit more about that.
Oh, yes. Well, last summer, I was in the field down by the river, and this enormous Scotch bull, very well endowed, I must say, came and charged me and was thrusting against me up against a tree. It was terrible. And I didn't enjoy it at all. Not at all. And Edward, the damn silly fool, thrust himself between me and the bull and got gored almost to death. Well, I called the helicopter, which came, took him away to hospital, private hospital in England. And, of course, this year we're a bit stretched to pay for all our bills because the medical fees were enormous. So it's a bit of a relief in one sense because Edward can't bring all his boring old cronies up this time. We've been forced to put some of the rods out to tender. And I must say that I, for one, am rather pleased about that because some of the rods are very handsome young fellows.
Rowena, could I interrupt here?
Yes.
Is there truth in the rumour that's going round locally that some of your vast expenses and the running of your estate and so on met by none other than the infamous non-philanthropist Bill Stiles?
No, there's no truth at all in that.
Okay.
How dare you suggest that? It's appalling.
Thank you for that. Let's move on then to the actual...
Absolutely not. No, quite frankly, I'm appalled by that suggestion. We're an independent sporting estate in Scotland and we pay all our own dues, thank you very much.
Okay, so let's moving on swiftly to the actual building of the wall, which I gather may involve quite a lot of stones and things.
Yes. Well, last year we decided to make some improvements to Knock and Craggendale Castle, and Edward hired a local architect, Duncan Fraser, of Fraser, Duncan, McDuncan, Fraser and McFraser. And quite frankly, I think they used all the stones in Moray up, and several 100,000 from the west coast as well, where we do have two other estates. So I think, again, Boris just hasn't thought this through, and it's not going to work. He won't find enough stones, and even if he did, we employ all the locals anyway, so he wouldn't be able to find anyone to work for him, because we pay much better than he would.
So could I just ask you, I gather you're due to see Boris next week. What might you say to Boris?
Yes, well, I will be seeing him at our monthly shoot at Cold Sodbury Farm in Oxfordshire, and quite frankly, I'm appalled and disgusted at his plan, and I'm going to let him have both barrels, as it were. Both barrels. And also, I'm going to tell him that I'll be voting for the Freedom Party from now on. And that's that.
Glad to hear it, Rowena. Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.